Yes, my name is JoannaDemarest, and for my set tonight, I'm doing the GPS Wars, Tales from My 6,000-Mile Odyssey. So I have a question for you. How many of you in this room have a GPS in your car? Okay, and how many of you with your hands in the air, how many of you will put an address in and follow it blindly? There we go. So in this room we have, you will all relate to the story. Those of you who did not raise your hand, you're very much like my sister. For those of you who raised your hand and followed it blindly, you're very much like my lovely husband. I do love him dearly. For my sister, she doesn't own a GPS, has never owned one. So when she will give directions, she says, go past the church, the second church, the white one, go to the little road, then just past there, you're going to see this little alleyway, turn down the alleyway, go through the church parking, or the bank parking lot, and then you'll get over to the doctor's office. Okay, people that have never owned GPSs, then those people who do own them, but follow them blindly, will get off the freeway, go around the on-ramp, come back on the on-ramp, and keep going down the freeway because the GPS tells you to do that. There were a couple of you who put your hand down, and those people, you're my kindred spirits. You're the ones who will put an address into the GPS. You will follow it, but prior to have gotten into the car, you will have gone to Google Maps. You will put the address in. You will know exactly what streets you want to go on. You'll even take the little guy, take him and plop him down, so I knew exactly what Max's Tavern looked like before I was to drive down here. When I go on a long trip, I'll even write up little cheat sheets. That's every single road that I'm going to turn on for that particular day of that particular route. Now, GPS can take you a million different ways to get to the same location. It can take you the fastest way, the shortest way, the most unrestricted way, but it's not necessarily the way I want to go. And that's when the battles begin in the GPS wars. I'll get into the car and I'll start out, and just when it says turn left, I'm like, no, right's better. I know I can get that way where I want to go. And then the reprogramming, turn around when possible, starts. And I love to drive. People think I am crazy because I will get in the car and I will drive for miles. I have driven across this beautiful country, I think 10 times from coast to coast. Most of the time by myself. I really do love driving. I love getting in the car and see, it doesn't matter the seasons, whether it's the fall with the crimson trees along the mountainside, and you see that riot of color that's up there, or a few months later, and you've got the frozen icicle waterfalls along the brick, on the rocks and everything. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then in the springtime, then it's all the green and the baby lambs and the colts and the calves all dancing around. It's an absolute wonderful thing for me to be able to get out and drive and go where I like to go. And so I did it was October 18th last year, that I started out on this sabbatical that I was going to be on, which sort of turned into a mission trip, which, well, you'll find out, it really became like an Odyssey at the end. But, and the story started that first day. I got in the car, I packed it with everything I thought I'd need for an indeterminate amount of time, with an indeterminate number of seasons that I was going to be traveling in, locked up the house, put on the alarm system, got in the car, and started driving. And there can be those beautiful sunshiny days that you drive, or those foggy days and rainy days where the clouds come down and kind of like hang on the mountaintops. I like to call them the Tolkien-esque, like I'm in the misty mountains and And that happened to be like that morning. It was one of those Tolkien-esque type days. Had been raining, but you know what? I was on the road. It was freedom. I was by myself. This is going to be a great trip. And I start going, I get out. I like to take the back roads, so I took 19 going on down out of western Pennsylvania down into West Virginia. I'm driving along, and I see one of those road signs, you know, the ones that they go and plug in or solar powered lighted ones. Bridge Day. Bridge Day. Bridge Day. Something about Bridge Day. Yeah. I'm driving along, but I'm just enjoying the drive. I'm getting settled in. It's really great. I look down at my GPS and for some reason it's having me go off on 60. I want to be on 19. It's going to be another battle. All right, I keep going on. There's another one of those lighted bridge signs. Bridge Day. Bridge closed. Bridge closed. What? Oh, man. It's the third Saturday in October. Bridge Day. A day when 100,000 idiots decide to jump off the New River Gorge Bridge, going 876 feet down, base jumping and bungee jumping. They close an interstate highway for an entire day for these idiots to be able to do this. Somehow my GPS knew this. It was routing me around it. And of course the road was closed, more detour signs going up on Highway 16, going up through Ansted, West Virginia, and through Hawks Next State Park. And there's something curious about the people that live along Highway 16, is that they know that on the third Saturday in October, they're going to have a captive audience. They put out every single knick-knack, craft item. Every church has a bazaar all the way along this winding, snaking road going up around the Gorge Bridge is one great big sale. So you've got 100,000 people trying to get to the gorge. You've got everybody else trying to get around the gorge. And you've got everybody that's there for a really good sale. All snaking through this winding road. Now, one of the things that I have learned when I travel, especially by myself, is I stop every 2 hours. Whether it's for a walk around, whether it's for gas. Actually, my bladder is trained. Every 2 hours, I stop. And as I'm snaking around this road, it's starting to traffic's getting slower and slower and slower. We're crawling along, and it's like, yep, it's 2 hours. It's time for my break. And I'm like, it's a zoo. People are just pulling off into this sale over here or this sale over there. And there's motorcycles. There's just everything's going on crazy. And finally, I'm coming up around this corner, and there was a gorilla in the middle of the road. Literally, it looked like it was sitting in the middle of the road. And as I come up around the curve, I look up and, no, it's not in the middle of the road. And no, it really is that big. It's sitting on top of a Quonset hut that looks like it's been painted in the best flower power from the 60s you have ever seen. Rainbows, big flowers, wow! There's even a VW microbus that's been smashed into the side of it. Mystery hole. It was the largest epic tourist trap you have ever seen in your life. Another ingenious entrepreneur who's going to take advantage of Bridge Day. Wondrous, gravity-defying. Oh man, I really need to stop. Well, what the hell? So I pulled in to see what the mystery hole is all about. Big sign out front. Heart problems, vertigo, high blood pressure, do not enter. Not responsible for accidents or after effects. Shoes recommended. Okay. And you go in, and I don't know what it was about this hole, but boy, it's changed the entire gravitational pull in this entire area. There's water running up the walls. There's this girl sitting in the chair, and it's like only two pieces of the two legs of it are attached to anything, but she's able to just sit there. There's all of these mystical forces that are pulling us into around this mystery hole. Defies natural laws. Watch for disorientation when you leave. I'd had enough. It was time to leave. Now, when I left, I was feeling a little bit disoriented, and I went out and I got in the car and I pulled up and was waiting my turn to be able to move into these two snaking lines of traffic that were in front of me. And I finally got my time, my spot where I could pull out, and I pulled in really quickly, and my front right tire hit the curb, but I was able to get into the traffic, and I slowly finished snaking my way on down this mountain. Finally get back down to Highway 19, and I'm like, man, it was a parking lot. On this side of the shoulder, there were cars. On this side of the road, in the median, there were cars. On this side of the median, on that side of the cars parked everywhere. The bridge is now behind me, and there's 100,000 idiots walking towards me. So it took another 15, 20, 30 minutes to finally get through the crowd and on down. And I'm starting to feel good. I've finally gotten all that behind me. I'm starting to not feel quite so disoriented. And I'm going along, and my steering wheel starts to jiggle a little bit. I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, oh man, no, it's gonna be right now. I look down at my GPS, and I can see on the map there isn't anything around me. I am in a wild and wonderful part of West Virginia. There just isn't anything nearby, and I'm like, well, it'll make it. And I start hearing this other noise besides the thumping that's going on, and my steering wheel's going this. I start hearing this roaring noise that's coming up behind me. And I'm thinking, what the heck? And I looked in my rearview mirror. Holy crap! There were like 1,000 Hell's Angels descending upon me. There was some motorcycle gang barreling down, roaring in the loud, and there's more Harleys, and I mean, my car's shaking. I'm going like, oh man, come on, not now. And then, bam, tire blew, and I was like, I have got to pull over the side of the road. I pull over, and I thought, all right, well, maybe they didn't see anything. Maybe I can just ease down here in my car, turn the engine. I'm not here. Just go on past me. I don't know what kind of maniacs are in that motorcycle gang. Just please keep going. And the sound came up, and it was like right on top of my head, and it just wasn't going past me. When all of a sudden, there this big, I look up, and there, standing, is this behemoth of a man, this monstrous bear. He's got this beard that's all wrangled and tangly, and he looks down and he goes, "What's up, sweet cheeks?" Nothing. I'm fine, really. I'll call AAA. Go ahead, really. And then I hear from the back, "Pop your trunk." I'm like, no. And then these two other guys walk up and are looking at my tire over here, and they're just as big as the guy that's in my window. And I'm like, oh God, no. And just at that point, a cherry red Harley trike pulled up right at the corner of my car. And I could see the back of the jacket. "Motorcycle riders for Jesus." Yeah. And a woman turns around, and she's got a big name tag, Pastor Betsy. I'm like, oh, okay. So I got out of the car, and before I knew it, two guys, they just lifted up the front of my car. They had my tire changed. I swear it wasn't any more than about 15 minutes. They were zooming on past me, and I was back on the road going, okay, all right. GPS, you just take me for a while, okay? Yeah, you just take me on down there. There's not going to be any battles the rest of today. Oh yeah, that was just the first day of my trip.